guys, it's me. I'm back and I'm bringing you a very, very special and most likely very, very long video review. Today I will be reviewing the Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Menasor team. Yes, I have the full Combiner team. We have Blackjack, Dragstrip, Breakdown, Dead End, the Newbie Off-Road, and Motormaster. Wild Rider is in the Wave 3 Deluxes, but I will get him eventually. Now, obviously, Dead End, Dragstrip, and Breakdown are more modern versions of their vehicle modes. Blackjack is pretty much a little sports car. Off-Road is a truck, as you can tell. And Motormaster is a repaint remold of the Voyager Optimus Prime Combiner Wars figure, just with different weapons. But yeah, the 4 Deluxes are about $15. The Legends or whatever Blackjack's class is about between $5 and $10. And Motormaster is the now normal $25 Voyager price. I have to say, just looking at these figures alone, I highly recommend them. But let's look at them each separately and go on from there. And here we have Blackjack. Now, obviously, he's a sports car. Again, mostly like a dullish black with some gold, silver, and some light purple. His only accessory is his battle axe for robot mode and chest armor plate for combined mode. It clips on to these slots right here with these 2 pegs for vehicle mode and these 2 spots on the hood for combined mode. He rolls not so good, even on a flat surface. He just slides, really. Enough said, you can kind of see a bit of robot kibble. And to transform them is very easy. Take these sections right here and fold them out by these hinge joints right here. And then rotate the forearms so you can see the hands. Take the entire hood and roof of the car and just bring it up like so, and then rotate it back. And take this panel right here, rotate it down, and you reveal the head and his chest, and separate the legs. And now you have a very cool and small robot mode. And I have to say, Blackjack is pretty freaking cool looking in robot mode. Obviously, you can see a bit more gold and a lot more purple, but that's okay. He doesn't have a mouth, but I have to say his head sculpt's pretty freaking fantastic. Head is on a full 360 swivel. He's got these hinge joints right here, but I'm not gonna mess with them. Ball jointed shoulders, swivels just above the elbow, and then hinged elbow, about 90 degrees worth. No waist articulation, but he's got ball jointed hips and ball jointed knees. And obviously he can hold his axe in both hands. Well, one hand at a time only. And there you go. No Blackjack, if you weren't getting Menasor, he's still worth it, actually. A lot better with the whole set, but still worth it on his own. And now we start with the Deluxe class figures. And we will start the Deluxe figures with Breakdown. Now, obviously, he is his Lamborghini sports car, and I just removed what would be a foot, but yeah. Mostly white with some blue and a little bit of red on the hood. And 15 racing on the front windshield. And some silver paint for headlights. Now his accessories are hand and foot piece, or what will be hand and foot, and his melee weapon, a gun sword, which actually looks pretty freaking badass. Obviously, he can hold it as a gun or sword/knife. But yeah, each Deluxe class figure for any of the combiner teams comes with one of these painted scheme for the right robot. Each one's supposed to be a little different to point out the specialness, I guess. But yeah, enough about that. He rolls somewhat better than Blackjack, but not really. Underneath you can see a little bit of robot kibble and the connector peg. Now transforming this guy, he is a bit one of probably the most difficult ones to transform if you don't know what you're doing. First, what you want to go ahead and do is kind of separate the HUD from the rest of the vehicle mode enough to pop out untab the front windshield panel and fold it all the way back. Then you can go ahead and take the whole HUD of the vehicle mode like so. Before you do that, untab this little middle section right here. Fold these panels all the way up until this tab on the connector peg right here goes into a little groove right where my finger is. And you have to use all sorts of double hinges just to get the peg in the groove right. And then what you go ahead and do is untab these what will be his doors, what will be his arms, from these little sliding pegs right here. And then you just unfold the arm, bring it up so this little section right here locks in at this space right here. And then go ahead, do the same thing for the other side. Untab the door, fold out the forearm, bring it up to lock the head panels in place, and then just fold down chest plate, like so. Now the legs are the easy part. Unpeg them, bring them down far enough so you can separate them, and then accordion them so this little joint piece right here kind of locks into place, like so. Things for the other side. And now pretty much, and then just separate the legs and rotate them up like so. And then just fold these rear spoiler sections down for heels and these sections down for his feet. And now here you have Breakdown in robot mode. I have to say, Breakdown is actually pretty decent. Granted, his arms are a little small for my taste, but for Combiner Wars aspect, I can live with it. He is definitely a modernized G1 figure. Blue head, red face. That's pretty much it. His head's on a swivel. Shoulders are on ball joints. And his elbow, he has a hinged and ball jointed elbow. Mostly for transformation purposes and posing. Waist articulation, you can get a full 360 turn, but with a little bit of resistance from the back kibble. He's got a hinged... Okay, I'm going to have to say this. He's got a hinged crotch, so he can get the legs in different positions for posing. And ball-jointed hips, swivels just below the hips, and hinged knees. And obviously hinged feet and heels. Now you can have him hold his weapons like this. What I usually do for the figures in robot mode, well, the main 5, I have him hold a foot piece or whatever in the left arm, and I have them hold their own special weapon in the right arm. Now, obviously, like I said, he can hold them in two places, like that. Or, if I can get it out of his hand, like that. And now he's ready to blast some Autobots. Okay, time to move on to the next figure. And here we have the newbie Off-Road, who is a mostly gray and red truck with a little bit of darker gray. That's about it. His accessories are another one of the foot hand pieces, just different toes. And his clip-on was this little slot right here. We'll go over this little peg right here in the truck bed. And his special melee weapon is an axe. Not bad. Small, but not bad. Now, Off-Road here. He rolls a lot better than the two previous figures I just showed you guys. Underneath, yeah, you can see visible head syndrome, connector peg, and, well, the front of his legs. Transforming Off-Road here is pretty simple. What you want to go ahead and do is take this entire hood, entire front end of the vehicle mode, fold it all the way back, like so, and then take this and fold it like so. And rotate the head around, untab the arms, and then fold them up on the hinge, like this. Then separate these door panels from his arms a little bit, and then kind of bend his arms to break it up. His legs, pull off the bottom sections like so. Do the same thing for the middle of the truck bed. And then just accordion them like this, or however you want to say it. And then fold these sections back up, and separate the legs in the process. And now, Off-Road in robot mode. And you can definitely tell, robot mode, he is a bit beefy, actually. Mostly because of the truck kibble. Obviously, his new color is light blue. His head, not bad, actually. He's got a little bit of light blue in the head. Yellow face with red eyes. Not bad. He looks evil. Kind of possessed. Although you can't really tell, he's got a smirk. Now, head. He's got a ball-jointed head, and, yeah, ball-jointed. He's got ball-jointed shoulders. He's got the hinged panels here. Swivels just above the elbows. And ratcheting hinged elbows. Waist articulation. Same full 360. No interference. Ball-jointed hips. Swivels just below them. And hinged. Ooh, I gotta fix the legs here. Hinged knees. Now, he can hold his weapon two different ways. In his hand like everybody else. Or since he has peg holes on the side of his arms, he can hold his like that. Which I like better, actually. And his melee weapon, he can hold it two ways because he can hold it with the handle. And with the peg, he can do that. Yeah, I like it when he holds it normally. Final thoughts on this figure? He is pretty good. The set makes sense with Wild Rider, but he's decent. A good figure, actually. Now we start with the figures that will eventually become the arms of Menasor. And here we have Decepticon Dragstrip, or just Dragstrip. He has his Formula 1 race car, mostly yellow with purple, I guess, or dark maroon or whatever. But it's actually two different colors here. The same color shade is on the stripe down the middle, and two of the sections on the side. This bit right here will be his robot mode shoulders, is a darker shade. Although you can't really tell, you can actually tell on camera it's darker. But I'm not saying it bad. And he actually has colored rims. Yeah, Breakdown and Off-Road they all have silver rims. All the figures so far have silver rims. Except for Blackjack. He's got black. But yeah, his accessories, another hand-foot thing. And his little weapon is another, well, it's double-bladed sword, really. Hold it like this, or you can hold it like this and stab people. Okay. He mostly slides because, as you can tell, part of the connector peg is sticking out from the bottom of the vehicle mode. So he definitely drags. No pun intended. Transformation to robot mode? Easy. Bring up the entire sides of the race car like so. Take this, pull out the entire bottom of the section so you can reveal the top of his legs. Rotate it around 180 degrees. Separate the legs. Bend the arms so you can break up the sides of the car. And fold out his hands. Take the entire nose cone of the race car. Fold it back like so. Rotate it. And this peg right here will go into this slot right here. And then all you have to do, rotate his head. And there you have Dragstrip in his robot mode. And I have to say, robot mode, probably my least favorite of the robot modes. Mostly due to the fact that his connector peg is gray and it doesn't blend in with the yellow all too well. It just feels like he could have been a little bit better in transformation. Robot mode still looks good, it's just probably the least favorite of the set for me. Obviously his face is light blue with a red visor. And can't really tell a smile. But yeah, his head's on a ball joint. And sort of a hinge due to transformation. Well, somewhat, yeah. Hinged joints just before the shoulders. And then ball jointed shoulders. Swivels just above the elbow. And then hinged elbows. And then hinged wrists for transformation. Waist articulation, obviously a full 360, mostly because he ends up being an arm. Ball jointed hips, swivels just above the hips, and hinged knees. Now, I do want to point out the colors again, just like the shoulder and the rest of the arm are different. The plastic on the actual hip joints are darker than the plastic on the rest of his leg. I'm not saying that's bad or anything, just odd. Now, obviously you can have him hold his weapon like this, or due to the peg, normally like this, or due to the peg holes, you can place him up here for like shoulder cannon. But I don't know why you do that. and he can hold his weapon 2 different ways. Like this, I guess if you want a bladed gun, or how I usually have him hold it, like that. That's drag strip for you guys. I would get him mostly just to complete the set. But if you were just going to collect figures separately, I would kind of pass on him. That's me being a little brutal, but what can you do? Nobody's perfect. Now to move on to the last deluxe figure for this combiner team. And here we have Dead End in his vehicle mode. And right off the bat, his vehicle mode is probably my favorite. Actually, he is probably my favorite figure in the whole line. He actually beats out Motormaster, to me personally. His accessories is, again, his own specialized hand-foot. And his personal accessory is a smokestack weapon, or exhaust pipe. Pegs in like this on the side, and holds it 2 different ways like everybody else. His color scheme is like a metallic maroon with a single metallic orange stripe going down one side of the vehicle mode in silver. Headlights, 2 different kinds of silver, but I can excuse this. This is kind of works a little bit better than the 2 purples on a drag strip. Obviously, you can see molded taillight. All the figures have molded taillights. It's just this one looks better. And you can see a port for what his hand or foot will be in. And silver rims. And underneath you can see somewhat robot kibble, but not much. Rolling factor, not too much. Yeah, he mostly drags at the front end. Transformation is somewhat like, let me get my camera up, sorry. Transformation is kind of like breakdowns, is actually similar than breakdowns, really. Same thing to start off, trying to fold this back panel all the way down, like so. And then fold this section down. Now, for this figure, you don't need to lock in his arm. Well, actually, first, what you want to do is unpeg these sections right here, rotate them out, so you can actually rotate the rest of his legs down, like so. And make sure his knee spikes are like that. And then close these panels back up. Now what you can do for this is you can keep it up, or what I'll do is rotate it down, kind of forms a bit of an extra support for his foot. But yeah, and then you just rotate the waist around. Arms, pretty much hinge them up like so. Bend them elbows to break it up, and then ratchet out his hands. I mean, extremely loud. And then just like breakdown, fold this around till these 2 tabs on this chest panel go into these slots on the torso. And obviously you saw this raise up, because what you can do, what the instructions kind of show, I guess, is just rotate it like this and then fold it down. And now you have Dead End in robot mode. And I have to say, he is definitely probably my favorite robot mode too. Now, my figure has loose hip joints, but I'll probably end up fixing that. So yeah, he's going to have trouble standing here. Head sculpt. Obviously, no mouth, but he's got a dark purple visor kind of metallic-ish and metallic orange mouth. Again, ball joint, although can't move it up and down. You can move it up and down slightly, but mostly swivels with some resistance to the hinge kibble right here. Obviously hinged joints just before the shoulders, ball jointed shoulders, swivels just above the elbow, hinged elbows, but you can only go a little bit past 90 degrees. And as you probably heard, hinged wrists. Swivel in the waist, full 360 because he mostly is an iron. Ball jointed hips, swivels just below the hips. Hinged knees. That's it for articulation. Now, obviously, he can hold weapon in his hand like this, or on the side here. For him, I kind of like the shoulder cannon look. Kind of makes him a bit more badass. And you can have him hold his weapon, his exhaust pipe, like this, as a club, like this as a wet blaster. And you can just have him hold it like this as somewhat of a sheath, I guess. Or sheathed weapon. And I know I'm just bumbling through this, so excuse me, guys. Detailing on this figure actually is probably the best out of the deluxes. And I'm sorry I didn't go over the detailing for any of the other ones. But yeah, definitely probably my favorite figure of the line, of the team. Kind of edges out Motormaster somewhat. Obviously he's standing odd, but yeah, that's the end of the deluxe figures and the limbs. Now we move on to the leader of the team. And here we have Motormaster in his vehicle mode. Obviously, being the same vehicle mode as Optimus Prime, he's a truck. Just different shades of gray with dark purple, metallic purple, and black. And a little bit of silver. And some yellow. Or dark, goldish yellow. He has no colored rims, but oh well. He actually rolls the best, surprisingly. His accessories are two little weapons. A sword, mini sword, and a blaster. But for combined mode purposes and what I usually give him, you can put them together like this, and you get Menasor sword, or giant bladed gun of doomage. Okay, set that aside. Obviously, his transformation is like Optimus Prime's, but since I don't have Prime, I'll go over it with you guys. What you want to go ahead and do is take these panels right here, just rotate them around like so. Next, untab what will be his forearms from these little tabs right here, where my finger is, even though I can't really tell. And then just rotate them around the arms like so until these rear view mirror, these side mirrors go into these little slots on the side of the truck, like so. And then fold these sections right here, around like so. His legs, just bring them down like this. Fold down the waist. Take this piece right here, just accordion this up like so. Just straighten out his legs. And then fold out his feet, separate the legs. His arms, rotate them around so you see the front grill. Well, front half of the grill. Just fold out down the arm like so. Same thing for the other side, fold down, rotate. And for the head, you just push one end of this panel like so, doesn't matter which end, rotate around, and you pop out Motormaster's head. Set him down. And there you have Motor Master and his pretty beefy robot mode. More beefier than off-road for sure. Now you can see why Motor Master is definitely very, very detailed. And you can see where the remolds have been for him compared to Prime. Obviously, he's got his iconic boxed head, which is on a ball joint. Very, very good ball joint, actually. Swivels in the shoulder. Well, just before the shoulder. Ratcheting hinge joints. Swivels just above the elbow and somewhat of a ratcheting hinged elbow, but mostly due to transformation. Waist articulation is somewhat limited, but if you move this like so, you can get a full 360. And due to transformation, you can do that, but I don't know why. He's got ratcheting hinges for hips, and yeah, ratcheting here, ratcheting here. Knees, swivel just above, and hinged knees. And the transformation, hinged feet. Now, his hands aren't hinged, except when you fold them out like this for combined mode. But looking at the detailing, very detailed for a Voyager figure. Obviously, you're going to get more detailing in the bigger figures. But oh well. Obviously, you can have him hold his weapon separately. Or what I usually do is I just give him the complete sword. Even though it only fits through this bottom portion of the handle. So it fits kind of loosely. But I usually just... What I usually do is I just separate them. Like so when I have him hold them. But for later, just keep it combined. Now, he is definitely probably better than Optimus Prime. Granted, they're both the same mold, just different chest plate looking stuff and head. And I'm just losing my mind here. So before I go any further, I'll get the rest of the guys here, so you can see all of them in robot mode. And there is the Menasor team and... Alright, Stunticons. I keep forgetting Stunticons. I don't know why. But yeah, that's the whole team. I have no idea what that sound was. Now the fun part is to combine them into the mighty and destructive Menasor. Now it is time to combine the Stunticons into Menasor. Now what I've done is I've got the figures in their modes to where it'll be easier to transform them into their limb modes. Now we'll go ahead and start off here with Blackjack. And all we have to do is pretty much just turn them to the side here. Doesn't matter which end it goes, just take his axe and peg it on his hood, like so. And there you go. Set him down. Now we're going to go ahead and get Motor Master out of the way. Let's start with the legs. I'm going to start with off-road here. First, what you want to go ahead and do is pretty much do the same thing you would do for robot mode with the front end. Then what I do is rotate the head around and then just rotate out the connector peg so you can see the back of the head fill in the gap right there. And then peg his foot on the port in the back, like so. And he will be the left leg. Now we go ahead and do breakdown. And yes, I've storaged his melee weapon on the outer side. I did the same thing for breakdown for when he becomes the right leg. All you have to do, peg in the foot, and just and do the same thing you would do to start transformation. Unpeg the front windshield, and rotate down the entire front end. And then rotate out his connector peg. And for some reason, some of the connector pegs are a little tight, so getting them out is a little difficult. But yeah, there we have legs for Menasor. And now, go ahead and get the big guy out of the way. Start with Menasor. First one to do is rotate the head around, like so. And then rotate the forearms around so you see these little tabs pointing straight towards you. Just fold up the arm until the tabs here go into these little slots right here. They lock into place pretty good, but rotating them around while combining is a little on the difficult side to keep them tabbed in. But if you don't move him, he tabs in just fine. And then go ahead and rotate the hands up, like so. And see? It came unpegged. So, yeah. Peg it back in. And now the legs, go ahead and fold it, will be his crotch plate. What you go ahead and do is rotate the waist around. Just kind of fold forward the waist like this. Rotate the legs sideways so you see these black panels. Ratchet them about maybe 2 places and then straighten the bottom portion of the legs down. And these tabs right here will go into these slots on these panels right here. So you can rotate the panels up. Okay, 3 ratchets up on the hips. Like so. And just fold his cod piece down, like so. Open up these back panels so you can rotate Menasor's head. And fold up his horns. And now go ahead and just put on the legs. They just slide on, like all the Combiner War pegs. Alright, do this off camera here real quick. Like so. See if I can do this. Okay, just show you guys a little better. It just slides in like so. Now you can fold that up like that. And as you can tell, he's gonna be freaking huge. And these 2 pegs right here, get the camera up, these right here, will go into these little circle slots right here underneath Blackjack. So that's why I said you can put it either way. You just need to make the chest plate thing pointing down. What's the handle going down? Yes. So I'll peg it on here real quick. And I just dropped them. Come on. Hey. Come on. Hang on. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, there is Blackjack in the middle of Menasor's chest cavity. Now get this out of the way and work on the arms. First we'll do drag strip. What you go ahead and do, rotate his head back around and then fold it up like this. Rotate his arms at the shoulders, point them up, and just rotate them at the swivels. Fold his hands in, just bend his arms like this. But before you do that, rotate out his connector peg. which is always so freaking difficult to do at times. Now bring his arms like this. Peg his legs back together. Rotate his waist 90 degrees that way. Or whatever. Yeah. So you can see this peg right here. And bend his knees will be the elbow for Menasor. Now to make these hands, fold out his fingers like this. And fold it down like so. You see a peg hold right here. And then just fold this down and around to make his thumb. And now you go ahead and peg it in the hand. And then what I always put Menasor's sword in his right arm. And then the Storm drag strips weapon, I just peg it in the back like so. And go ahead and set him down. Work on dead end. First you want to go ahead and do is actually rotate this back up so you can, and then unpeg his head. And then just pretty much fold it like this. Well, that's what the pictures show, at least, or like this. You can lock in the panels, whatever. Hey. Guess it's more personal preference on how you do this, how you want to do dead end shoulder. And then just straighten out the arms, fold in the hands, and then just angle the arms down like so, but keep them out hinged like that. Clip his legs back together, turn his waist so you can see the peg hole in the back, bend it, and store his weapon in the back like so. The same thing for like drag strips hand. Fold out the fingers, fold this down and around. Now you got another hand, and you just peg it in like so. And I completely forgot about his connector peg. Don't know why, but okay, there we go. I don't know what looks better, his like this, like picture show, or I just fold this down like that. And I'll just go with picture show. Like that. Now the fun part. Sliding him in these joints on his shoulders, and Blackjack just fell off again. Yeah, same connector peg, just slides in. Do it here off camera. There we go, there's one. Although you can only see the bottom of the arms. Trust me, I am sliding them in, and doing this is not as easy at times. And there you go. But what I like to do then is the covered connector pegs is fold these panels over. Like so. And just before I put it on Blackjack again, look at all the detailing in here. I mean, holy crap. But yeah. Let me put my camera down. Put Blackjack back in. And there we have the completely built Menasor. Let me move my light around. And holy moly, is he freaking huge. I mean, look at the detailing on his head. I mean, holy moly. His horns rotate, mostly due to transformation, so you can hide it better. I'm not even going to really move, because it's all just ratcheting joints. All the same joints for robot modes. Yeah. Definitely very, very big. You want to see how big he is? Let me put this down here. Let me bring out Silver Knight Optimus Prime, first edition. And he is even freaking taller than him. I mean, holy crap. Literally, the top of the smokestacks for him go up to Menasor's nose. That's how much taller he is. My final verdict on Menasor. Probably, right now, compared to Superion, he's the one to get, in my opinion. Is Superion bad at all? No. I just think Menasor is better, personally. Separately, each figure is pretty good, but I would, like I said, pass on drag strips separately if you don't want the whole team. But yeah, this has been my long-ass video review of the Stunticons that make Menasor. Menace Schwartz be with you, and good night.